It began with a silence so profound it had a weight of its own. Not the simple absence of sound, but an active, swallowing quiet that made the ears ring in protest. For Elara, a historian specializing in architectural anomalies, the first clue that the Winchester house was more than an eccentric folly was the utter lack of echoes. Her footsteps on the intricate parquet floor were absorbed the instant her heel left the ground, as if the house itself was listening too intently to allow for any repetition. It was a violation of physics, a whisper of wrongness that coiled in her stomach. Her initial mystery was the house's infamous irrationality, the doors that opened onto blank walls, the stairs that led to ceilings. But Elara was a pragmatist. She sought construction plans, a builder's logic hidden in the chaos. Yet the longer she stayed, the more the house resisted her rationality. The second hook came at dusk. Studying the stained glass in a hallway, she saw a figure reflected behind her, a woman in Victorian dress, her face a smudge of pale worry. Elara spun around, her heart hammering against the oppressive silence. But the corridor was empty, stretching into a shadowy infinity of identical doors. The air, however, now carried the faint, sweet scent of rose perfume. The house wasn't just silent, it was remembering. The third hook was the most chilling. In a room with 48 star-shaped windows, she placed her digital recorder on a mantelpiece to document her observations. When she retrieved it later, the device was warm to the touch. Playing it back, her own voice described the room's dimensions, then dissolved into static. From the hiss emerged a new recording, a woman's voice, frantic and tearful, whispering, "He is coming through the walls. The angles are all wrong. I must build." Elara checked the recorder's log. No new file had been created. The message was imprinted over her own, a phantom track on a digital device. The house wasn't haunted by ghosts. It was haunted by a memory so potent it could bleed into the present, warping reality itself. If you're captivated by mysteries that defy explanation, subscribe to the channel now, because the truth is far stranger than any legend. The climax came in the heart of the maze, the Séance Room. It was here, legend said, that Sarah Winchester spoke to the spirits. The air hummed with a static charge, and the silence was now a deafening pressure. Elara understood now. The house wasn't built to confuse spirits. It was a containment field, a labyrinth constructed not from wood and plaster, but from forgotten physics and grief-stricken intent. Every door to nowhere was a lock. Every window facing inward was a mirror to trap a soul. Sarah wasn't building for the dead. She was building against something else, something that sought to use the dead as doorways. As Elara stood in the center of the room, the walls seemed to breathe, the angles shifting infinitesimally, no longer following Euclidean geometry. A coldness seeped through the floorboards, not of temperature, but of a profound, alien emptiness. The house was straining and it was failing. The final twist was not a revelation of what was trapped, but of what was outside. In the absolute silence, a new sound emerged. A slow, rhythmic scraping against the other side of the sealed-off fireplace. It was the sound of something vast and patient, testing the integrity of the final barrier. Sarah Winchester's endless construction wasn't madness. It was a perpetual, desperate repair job on a prison wall. Elara wasn't an investigator in a haunted house. She was a witness who had stumbled into the control room of a failing dam, and the scraping was the sound of the flood. She finally understood the house's true mystery. It was the only thing standing between our world and what lurked in the silent, angled spaces between dimensions. The story doesn't end here. It's just the beginning of a deeper mystery. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next chapter of the unexplainable. And in that terrible, scraping silence, Elara realized the most frightening truth of all. The constant construction had stopped the day Sarah Winchester died. The house had been running on borrowed time ever since, and the locks were now, one by one, beginning to open from the other side.